What's going on, everybody? We got a really fun match to watch right now. It's in the old demos folders, but I don't think it's that old. These are two players that are still quite active today. It's Scorp, it's Blobfish, and they're competing for the 1K title in our clan, JJ. So let's get into it. Let's get it popping. Yeah, it looks like we're coming in mid-match. Not sure what the score is, but they'll say it sooner or later. I gotta be better about where I put my cursor, because I noticed I just left it on screen last match, so I'm trying to be better about that. Feel free to yell at me in the comments if I do that again, keep me honest. So when we're following Blob right now, this title says 1K. That's a title that people in JJ compete for, and whoever holds it is considered top dog, and they have the opportunity to lose it 3 times a day for different challenges. And so if Scorp right now is challenging Blob for his 1K title, and if he wins, he can wear the 1K, and Blob has to take it off his name. So I hope that that concept is simple enough. Right now it's 2-1. Blob is up against Scorp. And these are two of the best NA duelists right now. And so I'm sure that this is going to be a lot of fun to watch. And also, I got some really good feedback. Let me make sure I'm recording. I'm going crazy. Crazy. Good. And I got some really good feedback from somebody named Reborn. Shout out to Reborn. And I'm going to let some duels run with no commentary and then go back and look for errors and good stuff and highlights and whatnot. So that's the format I'm going to try for a few of these duels here. So I'm going to start with this one. So I'll let y'all quietly watch. So that was some still pretty aggressive stuff by Scorp, even when he had low HP. That tells me that the player is extremely confident about still landing a hit despite their HP being low. And so I want to come back and look at some of the highlights. So let's go back. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to let it roll. And then I want to get to one of those drags, because there's a couple punishes there. See, right there, that is an excellent punish by Blob. So Scorp has a hanging red right here. So he's in the middle of a backflip upside down, red right. And Blob isn't doing anything, so he's ready to basically counter whatever. And he's moving to, it looks like Scorp's right, but he could adjust midair to pretty much any angle right now. So Scorp lands. Skipping. Now he does a turn mid-air, which is interesting. And then another turn. And then here's where Blob punishes. So Blob is in blue, so his swings are going to be faster. And it's in base, so it's going to tick a little faster. And he starts his first tick right there. Second tick. Third tick. I think that was a 3 tick, so we're looking somewhere between 40 and 70 damage, depending on how hard it ticked. That was pretty devastating. And then he cleans up the combo, gets properly situated, and then continues. And I want to see this final hit that Blob lands, because this gets pretty close. Yeah, so what happened is Scorp tried to lunge and go for a Hail Mary, because he's low on health and he's looking to knock Blob out and make the best use, so he gambled on a lunge. So let's see that again. Oh, I went way, way too forward. There we go. There it is. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Growing pains. I think this is this is when it happens right here. So Blob goes left blue, and then we see Scorp come down. He's getting ready to lunge. I think Blob sees that. This lunge looks like it's on target to hit. I'm actually surprised Blob had the knowledge to just get out there at the right time and stay just out of range. It was an impressive lunge because that very easily could have got him. And with 26 HP, Blob could have lost. But excellent little sidestep, anticipation by Blob, and so he took that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that deep of analysis for every single duel, but if I see something cool, you bet I'm going to go back and watch it. Alright, so it's 3-1. Blob's up, opens up with a nice red. Scorp tries the same, gets countered. Blob tapping. Yeah. I'm not going to replay that. That was just good counters all around by Blob. And he is up 4-1. It's not common to see Scorp get caught behind like this, but you never ever count him out. He duels with the same intensity no matter what part of the match you're in, whether he's down, whether he's up, he still comes hard. Blob successfully getting in there for some love taps. Airing off Scorp. Yeah, Scorp keeps trying to go in with the backflip reds, but Blob's anticipating it and parrying it. It's a good one, guys. I really, really like this match. Nice little cleanup by Blob. They're calling him Tuna in chat, because apparently that's what he's gone by before. I've only known him as Blob, but that's all good. Nice red. Nice blue. Man, I love the variety. It's so exciting to watch dynamic players like this. Good spacing. Scorp trying to sneak in there, trying to find an opening, and Blob's pretty solid defenses. Trading a little bit, but Blob still has a clear defensive advantage. I feel like Scorp should have got that one. Oh, still trying to get through Blob's defenses. The Blob is up 6-1. Not sure what Scorp is going to do. I know Scorp pretty well. I duel him a lot. He does very well the more pressure that's on him, so it's interesting to watch him get backed into a corner and climb to higher competitive heights. It's always a pleasure to watch that. Oh, okay. Blob got backed off with the lunge. I think it's about even right now. Scorp really wants this. He's trying to get in with that blue. Yeah. So when you see that, I'm going to back up just a few frames. So when you see that backflip red, I think that's a move that a lot of otherwise good players use when they really just want to try what they perceive to be a really safe and sudden red. But the problem is it leaves you super open if your guy is just over here idling, waiting for you on something to do. So I'm going to skip frames. You see the backflip. And then here it is. So his active window hasn't begun yet, and it's not going to begin by the time he reaches the ground. And then he was rolling diagonal. So with that diagonal, he was able to outrange the side red And that generally works. Diagonal yellow is classically, as we saw in the Reef and in a Protoss match specifically, it's a classic counter. So good to see that classic response to a what I might unfairly characterize as a lazy red backflip. I think we're all guilty of doing that at some point. Okay, it's 6-2. So Scorp is on the scoreboard. It's a match, guys. Doesn't matter how much he's behind. It is a match. Scorp sneaking in some nice hits. Okay. Scorp's yellow's catching up. I'm not sure what he's doing better, but he's getting through somehow again. Hey, I need to go back and watch what happened right there. I need to look at that. Okay. So we're going. Coming over the top. I keep leaving my cursor here. Sorry, guys. I know it looks like a gray blob. I actually don't see that gray blob when I'm recording this. So he's coming over with a diagonal. I'm surprised that didn't kill him. I felt like I should have. Blob coming down overhead, misses it. Tries to turn it into Scorp. I'm still confused. I need to watch it again, one more time. Might be one of those things that only makes sense at regular speed. I don't know. Okay, frame by frame. Okay, parry. No parry. Scorp comes over the top of the diagonal, and Blob has Idle Saber. Is it Blob's Idle Saber and no block, and then the diagonal got through? Is that what happened? No, he dragged it further, and Blob begins the swing here. Okay, so he's going the opposite way that he's swinging. Okay, that hit dragged him. Okay. It could have been just lag, and that's why we're not seeing it. But it looks like Scorp went to a diagonal and then dragged it back into him and got over the top of Blob's hit. Yeah, that's the left yellow stagger step that we saw in the previous match with Protoss and Reefer so much. You can see it's much frequently yet less used nowadays because of it really should be used as a for how much exposure and how greedy it is, it should be used sparingly. I think that this tech is pretty much optimized by its frequency of use today. But I think that brings it to 6-3. Unless I'm misreading. Let's keep on. Wow! That was cool. Okay, I just want to watch that last part. So we have a red on red aerial, which is not it's not a super common thing to see in duels. So he's doing a left flip forward jump. That's what Blob's doing. And it looks like Scorp is sitting here and goes diagonal, which is a very good counter to aerials, as I've stated before. Then go frame by frame, and he's just sitting on it. So he was able to cut through diagonal as Blob came over the top of him, and then you don't have a saber below you. You can't block that. It's like in that movie Revenge of the Sith. It's like, I have the high ground. It's like, no, that shit doesn't work. Or it doesn't work in this. It just doesn't. You just diagonal over the top and counter any aerial that way. You gotta be super careful with aerials. Now it's 6-4. Blob is still up. And it's a match. I think Scorp's finding his rhythm. This is awesome. I love this match so much. Okay. Scorp below 50. And that was a crucial sweep. That was... Let's watch that again. So, he's coming in left underneath of a blue. So left yellow underneath of a left blue. And turn So he's trading a little bit, but yellow's going to do more damage more rapidly in that stagger step than just one blue left. Yeah, and then he does the stagger step in the backwards retreat. So that's Scorp's classic way of covering the exposure from the left up stagger, is when he does it, he actually retreats a little bit, and that allows him to reduce his exposure while still getting the offensive benefit of the move. So it's 6-5. We're in a little bit of a chat lull right now. Yeah, there's the classic wall flip. Scorp loves doing this on this map specifically, FFA Bespin. You notice that it has these little walls right here, and Scorp loves to take advantage of that by combining his red into backflips, and that's what he did here. And not a lot of other people, I think nobody else really does that. And so he's just taking advantage of something that's there and it's a part of the game. People just don't normally think to backflip off a wall and use it in a duel. The Scorp does. I think that ties it up to 6. Yep, 6-all. So he was down 6-1, and now he's at 6-all. That is a epic comeback. Amazing. Out even right now. Ooh. He's really gambling with those overheads, but you know what? He hits them. So I ain't mad about that. He's got deadly aim with those. That could have gone either way. That was just blue on blue. 7-6. Scorp is taking the lead from being down 6-1. Fantastic comeback. Blob loves to probe around the edges with that blue. But the problem that I'm seeing, the exception being that time, is that it's not able to compete with Scorp's yellow. Yellow is gonna beat blue just almost as a matter of rock, paper, scissors. Wow, that was a nice opening red by Blob. So a little bit of theory for people who don't watch JK2. Blue is the fast stance. That's what Blob is currently in. Then he just switched to yellow, which is a medium stance. And then red, which we just saw there from Scorp, is the heavy stance. Nice yellow from Scorp. And you can also hear the players make various sounds when they're getting hit. Players make a different pain sound from 100 to 75 HP to 75 to 50, 50 to 25, and 25 to 0. And so really experienced players know the pain sounds of every model, and we use that plus what we've known to have hit to be a basis for HP planning. And so we're able to ascertain a reasonable idea of how much health our opponent has as a result of hearing those pain sounds, and as a result of knowing what hits we landed. Pretty even. I think it's 25 to 50 to 4. Yeah. Scorp had something to trade there, so he did. It's 9-7 Scorp. Again, coming back from being down 6-1, up 9-7. This is wonderful to see. And Blob is a damn good, tough duelist. I don't think he's slipping or doing anything particularly wrong. It's that Scorp has just sharpened up. And he's tough. He's a champ. So, love to see it. Backflip red. Again, it's just such an easy to counter move, so I'm going to go back. Sorry, this is mid-duel. I have to go back and show it again. I keep showing this error over and over because my hope is that people will stop doing it. Did I go back far enough? I think I screwed up, guys. Yeah, it's fine. We can look past that and we can get through that. I think I accidentally might have gone forward. I don't know. Oh, bad lunge, Scorp. It's too open. 9-8 Scorp. Let's see it. Nice parry action. Yep, going in with yellow. I think it might be Blob's continual attempts to challenge on blue that are getting him in trouble. It's hard to say because Scorp is executing well in like several different ways right now. His red's looking good, yellow's looking good, yellow parry, drags are looking good. He's getting the critical lunges in, with the exception of some blunders, but just he's got the complete bag out right now. So I'm trying to find the cause of what's happened, but sometimes it's just simple as he's playing really well. It really is just that simple sometimes. Blob has an advantage in HP right now. Now it's about even, based on the pain sounds. Oh, that was a pretty flurry by Scorp. Blob deflected it. Scorp trying to bait with red. Pretty close. I think it's about even. Open lunge by Blob. That was interesting. Nice. See, that is when the backflip red works. It is when somebody's caught in an active motion and you kind of lull them to sleep with a series of actions. So if we go back more, let's get to that part. So one more. So Blob is going red right, going to yellow, and so they've engaged in a back and forth. I keep leaving my cursor there. I'm sorry. So they've gone a back and forth in yellow, kind of like, what are you going to do? I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And they're kind of back and forth trying to fake each other out. And now Blob, while Scorp is in an active motion, thinking that Blob's already committed to the series of motions he was doing just prior for like the last 20 seconds, he is swinging in the diagonal to try to counter the red, but he was already put to sleep by Blob's motions. So he actually just straight up wasn't expecting it. And so Blob was able to get it in the quick backflip red. And that is an example where it's done well. Because we've seen so many examples where it's not. I like to see it done well too. And that was it. Yeah. So it's 9-all. And I think usually in this case they do win by 2. Not sure what they're gonna do. Yep, some nice parries by Blob. Yeah, that was a great little look. Blob didn't connect on that aerial, but it was low enough and sneaky enough that he could have gotten a great hit in while Scorp is mid-roll, and it wouldn't affect his exposure. So I want to see that in slow motion again. That is a fantastic aerial. I think that would get pretty much everybody except Scorp. And that is so close too. It would have been a perfect opportunity. If he just jumped a little bit further, that probably would have been game. But instead, it gets parried. And Scorp is very lucky to get out of that one. And a nice roll away from Blob, totally limiting his exposure and getting a solid offensive hit on, and getting a solid offensive attempt that Scorp parried away. And you can see he was a little bit stun locked too. Scorp got lucky there. Scorp with a nice drag. Blob saying good fight already. It's about even. I think Scorp got a lot more HP. Yeah, that. So again, it's not good to. It seems a little bit lazy. So you can tell. Hold on. Okay, my controls are freaking out. I guess I can't control it anymore. There we go, let's try that one. Okay, not even my hotkeys are working. Come on, guys. That's fine. Alright, well, we saw that Scorp won that one. And I have to tell you, it is matches like that that literally give me life. It's my favorite one that I've casted so far. Casted, recorded, commented. I don't know the terminology. But that was fantastic. We got to see a great comeback from Scorp against Blob, which is one of the best duelists right now. I don't know how long ago this was. Could have been a year ago. Could have been a few months ago. That was very exciting to watch. We saw the whole bag. We saw red, blue, yellow, all used well. We saw some errors. You know, even the best duelists, you know, at least once a match, twice a match, have some pretty big blunders, and we're able to see that. And that was absolutely fantastic. And technical execution, great. Got some great drags. I could go on and on, but it's matches like these that make me more excited to continue doing this. But if you have any other feedback for me, please leave in the comments below. And I look forward to casting some more matches soon. Thank you very much.